Alright guys, welcome back to TGK TV. This is your host TGK, alongside with my little homie Lil Rain over here. So yesterday, Russell Wilson got his contract, a massive contract, $35 million a year. As soon as Russell Wilson got that contract, no one was talking about it here in Dallas. Everyone changed their attention and direction towards the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. And today I want to jump into that whole conversation, a healthy conversation, not one where I am saying bad things about Dak. It's just a conversation that we should all have as Cowboys fans and what we should really expect from what this contract entails whenever Dak Prescott does get it. Stay tuned. Thus in Twitter, thus on the radio, everyone was just talking about it, right? So on Twitter, a legend of ours, a Dallas legend through and through, has been a part of the Dallas community for so long. I can't say enough about this gentleman I'm about to mention, but Chris Arnold got on Twitter and stated that Dak Prescott's floor meaning this is the minimum that Dak Prescott's going to get for a contract. He said that Dak Prescott's floor is $30 million a year. And I had to jump in that conversation and I had to ask Chris Arnold a question. So I had to ask Chris Arnold a question as to what he was talking about, as to suddenly why Dak Prescott needs to get $30 million a year. I'm about to show you the tweets here. So Chris Arnold goes, I repeat, Dak's floor is $30 million. I responded in a very sarcastic way because I disagree with 30. It's crazy. I go, whoop, there goes the future. Chris Arnold responds, well, study the cap and realize it goes up $10 million per year. And realize you must sign Dak before Wentz and Goff because they will get what they get. They have $80 million in cap space. The future is brighter with them than without them. I responded because I didn't anticipate Chris Arnold coming at me like that, so I responded. I go, well, my bad. The payment structure for quarterbacks is pretty ridiculous as far as team building is concerned. And I think that's an error on the NFL's part for having such ridiculous contracts for these NFL players, and especially quarterbacks. Now, not the NFL players, the quarterbacks in general. All these other players deserve more. All these players deserve more, but because of the salary cap, just so much of it goes to the quarterback, and I would prefer to see it spread evenly. I mean, damn. Anyway, as we continue. So, Chris Arnold then responds to me, and that's the reality lesson. All team builders usually don't understand supply and demand at quarterback. Destroys team building logic. Quarterback is an outlier. Dak's floor is $30 million. So once Chris Arnold hit me with the whole the supply and demand and that the quarterback is an outlier, I had to sit here and question that because the way, and now I admit I'm stupid. There's certain parts of me that doesn't know everything that I know. I don't get paid to know all the intricacies of the cap, all the intricacies of how the front office works. Chris Arnold works for the media here in Dallas, and he has all the access to all this information. I gotta work a 9 to 5, right? I don't have all the time to just focus in on that. But what I do know, supply and demand, it depends on the supply. If the supply itself, meaning the product Dak Prescott, is very rare in the abilities and skills that he has, then it's one thing, and it's one thing to justify how much you pay that quarterback or that product. But Dak Prescott is not top tier level. I can't say Dak Prescott's like top 3, top 5, top 7, top 8 quarterbacks in the league. I mean, and if you want to compare Goff and Wentz to Dak, it's tough for me to say there's a comparison there. There's things that Dak Prescott has that the other quarterbacks have, and there's things that those other quarterbacks have that Dak Prescott does not have. So as far as the product, necessarily Dak Prescott, why would I pay so much money to one quarterback, $30 million a year, when I go to the clearance section and get a quarterback with similar abilities? I'm not saying they have every single Dak Prescott ability, but I get another quarterback for the same ability for $15 to $20 million a year. I don't understand the logic in the whole idea that it is fear that makes the Cowboys or fans or media heads say that Dak Prescott's floor is $30 million. I don't get that. And maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm not putting on my business hat. But the thing is, it's my personal opinion, right? And we all have opinions. I think it's a healthy conversation for everyone to have. Everyone should talk about this. Everyone should be like, what's the going rate for a Dak Prescott? We know he does do great things, and we know there's things that he struggles at. I think he is a good quarterback. And I don't think he's a terrible quarterback. But I just don't think he's a top tier quarterback like some think. And I don't think he's trash like some think. I think he's right in the middle. He is a average to good quarterback. An average to good quarterback, and when I separate feelings and personal things, I don't think a average to good quarterback should get $30 million a year on your team. So you look at it, I think we have about $14 to $15 million in cap space because of the dead money with Terrence Williams and I forgot the other players that we released last year. Orlando Scandrick, we still owe him money. So we have cap space, but I'm just like, where are we going to get this $30 million from? And I just wanted to throw in there the little note that Chris Arnold said that the Cowboys will have $80 million in cap space. I had to look that up. Like, where is Chris Arnold getting this from? The Cowboys will have $80 million in cap space come 2020, the season of 2020. But I think contracts like Tyron Smith's comes up. And I forget, probably Travis Frederick's contract comes up. But you got to factor in those contracts as well as far as this Dak Prescott deal. So then I think, I'm like, okay, so where are we going to come up with this money? If we got $80 million in cap space and we give 30 of it to Dak Prescott, where's the extra 50 going to go? The extra 50 may go to Travis Frederick again. Some of it might go to Tyron Smith. A chunk of it might go to Jalen Smith. The thing is, I think if you could keep Dak at 20 to 25 million, it bodes a lot better. It moves a lot smoother than 30 to 35 million. And I guess if you could justify having all that cap space, go ahead, give it to Dak Prescott. My only thing is, if I want to get the best deal as possible at the cheapest price I can get it, so I can be able to maximize everything else around the quarterback to better build an entire team and not have so much money just placed in a one player. It's crazy, but I understand the logic. I understand their logic. I just don't get it, or I don't approve of it. I don't like the approach of it. But hey, what can we do as Dallas Cowboys fans? There's going to be players, impact players that we lose in result of this decision if that's where they go. And we as fans need to understand that. We can't be up in arms why we can't go get players in free agency because there's going to be no money anymore. I'm not saying Dak doesn't deserve the $30 million if he gets it. I'm happy for him. I'm just saying from a team building perspective, I think we should slow down and just saying the dude deserves $30 million or that's his floor. If that's his floor, Chris Arnold's basically meaning he could get more than just 30. I mean, are we even thinking of keeping Zeke another round? Another contract, I mean. It looks like we're going to get a running back in the draft, so we could just say bye to Zeke next year. It's crazy. It's the salary cap is an issue. I think to my boy Dave, he always said that the NFL screwed up in overpaying the quarterback's position as much as they do, because now it makes team building such a difficult thing. And I think for Dak Prescott, if he were to take 20 to 25 million a year, at this point, that would be great, because we don't want to get it to 30. And from what I hear, I feel like the Cowboys, they've been consistent in their approach as far as being cheap and trying to get deals, trying to pay for, not overpay for the product, but pay just a fair amount. But me personally, I'm just like, where are we going to get the money from in the coming years, and who are we going to let go, and what are we going to do? And other people could argue and say that, well, the Cowboys know how to draft. They draft very well, so we can lose these other players and just fill in those positions, those voids, while we give Dak Prescott this massive contract. Then I can't argue with that, because the Cowboys front office have proven to be able to draft very well here in the last couple of years. So there's two sides to this coin. You could argue one way, you can counter argue the other way. I'm on the stance of we shouldn't give Dak over $30 million, $20 25 and under would be best. But who knows? It's going to be really interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I want to hear your comments. I want to know what you think. Can you counter-argue me and let me know something that I'm not considering? Or can you agree and add on to what I just said? It's a big offseason. This is going to be a big deal. And what we do in this instance with paying Dak Prescott is going to tell us a lot about our future and a lot about the faith that the Cowboys organization has in Dak Prescott. It's been your boy TGK and Lil Rain. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one.